Hi, Kimberly. How you doing? I've got your I got your PSD. Now I just went and opened the most recent one. I know you've submitted two, and you didn't leave any kind of explanation, so I just opened this one. So this is the one I'll create. It's the most recent one you submitted. Typically, that's what we do when there's multiple submissions with no explanations. It stands to reason that the most recent submission would be the one that would be the one that you would want to be graded. So that's what we got here. So I'm looking at your layer structure here, and I'm seeing a couple of problems. I think you're really trying to get ahead of the game here, and by doing so, I mean, I think it's great that you're experimenting. This is a wonderful composition. I think you've got so much going for you using this technique. It's wonderful. Ultimately, this is exactly what we want to do to get to this type of a composition. However, the way we get here is significantly different, okay? For example, what you want to do right now, what you would do with this image is if we take this all apart, okay, and that's your background image, what you would do is you would take this whole image here and you would place it in this image here, the whole thing. Then you would mask out the background in a layer mask. Okay, and that's how you would do that. So it remains completely editable. Then you would add your shadow. So by doing it this way, you have this layer here that's not editable. In other words, if your client one day said, hey, I want, where am I? If your client one day said, um, I want to change the background. Ultimately, you don't have a background to change here. Do you see what I'm saying? So that, let me show you something here. There's a couple of your classmates. This is a good one right here. Okay, you see this is, now typically you would duplicate the background and do this on a separate layer, but this is the layer mask right here. And if I deactivate that layer mask, you can see that there's the background. And that's what we need right there. Okay, so if you just show me that step, we'll get to where you're trying to go, I promise you. Let me show you another example. Here's tropical drink. This is a good example. Again, this student didn't duplicate the background, should have. That would have been what would be considered an industry standard practice. But anyways, look what happens when I deactivate the layer mask. Boom, there's the background. Okay, so that's what we're trying to get at in your file. I don't know where it went. Ultimately, that's what we're trying to get at here. Okay, so I'm going to grade this right now. Consider it a placeholder grade, and then all I need you to do is just do that. The way I would do it is I would just take that your image itself. I would take that image right there, and I would mask out your two things, create a layer mask so I can deactivate the layer mask and the background disappears. That's all I need for this assignment. Okay, I appreciate the experimentation and everything, but let's just show proficiency, then experiment. Okay, and that's the way I have to grade anyway. So if you want to go ahead and repost, I'll be glad to adjust your grade. All right, thanks.